Kevin,
Yeah.
I have 3 monsters back there.
I don't drink Monster. I don't drink Monster.
No, I know, but when you put it away for me,
Yeah, they're on the shelf.
did you see the other two?
Yeah. I shoved it in between those two.
Oh, in the door? If I had some ears.
Yeah, a little bit.
Those come in handy.
I think you'd be fine, though.
You could hear us from all the way over there.
Yes, I can. And you can probably hear me. But no need, we have ears.
I love the organization that's happening over there.
I know, right?
Do. We live?
Yes, we are.
Oh, nice.
Figure we just go live and call it good, see what happens, you know, all that fun stuff.
This is called the Daily Torch, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay.
So I was telling you guys about Heavenly, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what I didn't tell you, I might have told Kevin. So when I say I was gassed, I mean I was fucking gassed. You know you're not supposed to cuss in the first 30 seconds of this, so I just screwed that up.
Oh, it's
So yesterday, yesterday was the last day
Nice,
of
fun.
training. So I was also going to the gym. It was supposed to be leg day. I go in, warm up, is walking unweighted, walking lunges. I go into the first lunge. I go down to the ground. It won't hold me.
So I leaned over.
My knee hits the floor, and then my hand hit the floor to keep me up.
Yeah, I was envisioning.
And I went,
that.
well, that's not going to work. So I just did my hour of cardio. Today, went in like hybrid, some cleans, little upper body, another hour of cardio. I might try legs on Friday.
So, you were on snow yesterday? Mm-hmm. All day?
We were on snow every day
Okay.
for like 6 hours.
So, when you said you did cardio,
Yeah.
I thought it's zone 2 because you've been big on zone 2 lately.
Oh, that's what I do. That's what I was doing. I'll do a max heart rate
Okay.
and then 3 to 4 minute break. I'll do that about 5 times. So that's the only day that I don't do just steady state zone 2 cardio.
Okay. So when you're snowboarding, how often did you get into zone 2?
I think we froze.
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. I don't track it. But it doesn't really matter because it's not long enough to be meaningful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't get in. So the only time that you might get into zone 2 is if you're skiing from the top of Dipper or Sky all the way to Stagecoach.
Yeah, and even then, you'd probably go through zone 2 into zone 3 or 4.
Okay.
I don't think it would last. Is it our Wi-Fi? Do we need to hardwire that?
I'm not sure. It says that we have a low bit rate,
Yeah.
receiving enough video, smooth streaming experience.
So we're frozen?
Will buffer. Trying to see if I can't change the bit rate, but it's not letting me right now.
I'm sure we can start it over.
Probably.
Do you want me to pull that cable out?
Do we have a cable to plug into this?
I think so, don't we?
I don't know.
Well, here, put it on someone that's not me.
So,
Real.
so I get to carry this is live, right?
That's right. You get to try and carry this, see what happens.
So obviously it's live, or not so much to me, but and I'm thinking this is our second live show.
This is.
And of course, we're going to have some technical difficulties. So please bear with us while we sort out the problem.
Say again?
So
It should be an Ethernet cable.
you got me for now. You got to see Mutt and Jeff here
I don't know.
doing the hardwire. They're going to do a hardwire into the Wi-Fi and see if we can get it better and not frozen. We currently have reviewed The Fine and Rare by Alec Bradley recently, and I'm still smoking it from the review, and it's quite a nice cigar, I have to admit.
Well, now that we're hardline, it says that.
Oh, it's Wi-Fi's back up.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see if it'll populate. me hit refresh and see what happens.
There I am.
Oh, it can hear us. I just can't see us on that little screen right now.
No?
Well, it has me doing something on my phone.
Well, yeah, I have it on you right now. So, but we're up and running from the sounds of it. At least from what I'm hearing from Lane's phone.
Oh, that's me, huh?
Yeah.
Let's turn that off. All right.
But hey guys, we're back again live. We're gonna try this out again. Little minor internet connection issues. It is snowing out here, so it might be a little finicky, but we're gonna get it done.
A little flaky.
Little bit.
Little play on words
No,
there.
it's good. It's our first real storm of the year.
Yes, it's true.
Which is nice.
I don't know how much is going to accumulate, but it
Well, I
would.
mean, there's 3 inches that was outside when I came in, roughly.
Yep.
Where'd everyone go?
Oh, that's just me. I was just trying to see if Wi-Fi was connected or not. If our Wi-Fi was back up.
Oh, I just lost something.
What?
Oh, there we go.
No.
No,
What?
it's frozen on Lane again.
Is it frozen on
It's
lane
been
again?
frozen on me for a bit.
No, it was.
I see it choppy slightly. I close it out and open it back up. But
Okay.
it's still saying duplicate stream key select. It's saying that we have 2 streams going on.
What? What did you do?
I'm hitting a button. It might be fixing it. I hit a button. It converted. It looks like it's all in one now. We're doing this.
Are we?
Maybe, I don't
Are
know.
we really?
We're trying. We'll figure this out.
So anyway, yeah, I spent the last 5 days going through lessons on how to teach snowboarding, which is fun. I meant to, when I accepted the offers for a couple days a week, I just wanted something else to do.
Right.
Because now with Casey out, my nights are stuck in here.
Sure.
So I can't go, do what I would normally do.
And it's not really stuck in here. It's
No. But I mean, language aside, you know what I mean, right? Like I'm prohibited from doing the things that I would normally do because the hours would overlap.
you're now obligated.
Yes. So, generally speaking,
So earlier we were talking, and you said you were pretty well impressed,
yeah. So, listen, I badmouth Vale as much as anybody,
or more so.
more so than anybody.
Just a little.
I mean, that's fair. But we're gonna try and reload this. But I was impressed with their training. It was legit.
Good. I'm glad. That's encouraging to hear.
All right, I brought it back up. Now I'm just getting a black screen.
It's making me think that might be something I would be interested in doing. I don't know though. I mean, when it comes to test, because at the end of the 5 days they want you to probably go and test for PSIA.
No. That's like if you want to do it, you can do it right away, or you can do it not at all, or you can do like a 10-week clinic and then go do it.
10-week clinic.
Yeah, it's 1 day a week for like 10 weeks.
Oh, 1 day a week. Okay.
Yeah, which they do. It'll be your instructors, like your senior instructors. And Heavenly has some pretty senior people. Like they've got demo team people from PSIA that are now
Right,
like
no.
national demo team that have taken jobs at Heavenly and now they're working there.
Right. I think I know 1 or 2 of them that have done that.
I think it's Rob and Robin.
Well, Robin, you mean Robin the director?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was national demo team for like 6 years or something.
Yeah, she's been definitely doing it a while. She's very accomplished, and I think there's another guy, Steve Weavin Steven, is his. I'm trying to remember his actual name. It's Steve something. I want to say it might be even Steve Weaver, but I could totally be wrong. But Weavin Steven is his nickname, and he goes down to Mammoth a lot and does stuff down there. So yeah. Anyway, so you were impressed. That's good.
Yeah, I was impressed.
What's it like up there? How's the condition?
I mean, there's no snow.
No.
What's theirs in good shape?
Good. So they got it open, and It's okay. It's an okay product, in other words, for people to come up and
Oh, we're back. Okay.
experience.
I had to move my bar on the phone just to get it to go. So
Yeah, I
can see the
restarted
thing.
a couple times, although Will's still choppy.
A little bit. It's
What's happening there?
I wonder if it's because I'm as far away as I am.
No,
it's
it's got
still
nothing to do
saying
with
the
it.
bit rate.
Is it just because it's snowing outside?
I think so. I feel like that might be it.
This is going to be a horrible... Should we just not go live and record it and put it up tomorrow?
Well, how's it look when you go back on the video? Does it still look choppy?
I'm watching it. It's choppy.
Quite a bit.
Like you're not live. You just went back to.
No. It's just jerky. Like it's...
Yeah, because if you go back a bit, it seems fairly smooth. And just.
Oh, we'll see how it goes. All right, fuck it. We can just
we're-
annoy a bunch of people.
Sorry, guys. Oh well.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what happens, you know.
The conversation will still go on in the cigar shop, regardless of the conditions outside.
Anyway, no, it was fun. We had the best instructor for sure.
Oh, good. Yeah, John's good. I like John.
Yeah, he was super cool. We got him into trouble a little bit.
How'd you manage that?
Yeah. How did you?
Some people might have been taking some side hits in front of other groups.
Oof.
Sorry, Casey's Casey's asking what we're doing.
Do you when you say side hits, what are side hits?
Places on the run, off to the side of the run, where you can,
Do a jump,
get air.
get some air.
He was definitely like, so we got called out in the we were halfway down Maggie's, and we were stopped, and one of the other, we're gonna call him more serious instructors, pulled up, and he was all serious face, and gave us the lecture.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it was one kid, super cool kid, from Florida. His name's James. And James was definitely the troublemaker in the group. Like, everyone was doing some things. James was always doing some things. It was a game to see what he could get away with. And so we're sitting there getting a little bit of lecture. This is what you should be doing in this part of the thing, whatever. And so serious instructor skis up and just starts giving us the business. It's like, we had to work really hard to get these privileges, up this high on the mountain because whatever. And he was right, but he's like, you know what, I'd love to be doing this stuff too, but we can't. This has got to be serious. And John's like, shit. So anyway, serious instructor skis off, and John goes,
Pardon me.
so who took the side hit in front of the other group? And everyone just goes.
And James is at the other end of that pointing.
Yeah. He looks at James and he goes, okay. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. That's great. At least, except for the serious guy, at least you get to have some fun.
Yeah, when we spent the most time on the mountain, we got the most runs in, and they were all we had tasks on all of them, like practice doing this, practice controlling your speed doing this, because this is what you're going to have to demo for your students, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Exaggerate, when you do this, exaggerate your movement this way so they can really see what you're doing, because they're more than likely going to just visually copy whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. So do it right. And
Yeah, and then he forced a bunch of us, so I'm not terribly comfortable switch. I mean, I can do it, but it's not my favorite thing.
Oh.
And there was one girl who just didn't ride switch at all, and another guy that was kind of like me, and he's like, all right, you guys are riding switch. He goes, because then you're going to feel like what your students are going to feel like when they're just learning the sport generally.
So when he said you're riding switch, that meant that your dominant foot went to the rear?
Yep.
Ooh.
For me, that's goofy.
Yeah.
For the other guy, it was goofy. For the girl, it was actually switch. For her was regular.
Oh. Okay.
It felt more
So
natural.
she normally
No. But so regular is left foot forward.
Yeah.
Goofy is right foot forward. So she rides Goofy all the time.
So I'm goofy because my right foot's dominant.
Yeah.
and it's forward.
Well, and they hate it because they're like, they do the little test. So this is how you're going to figure out if your students are goofy or regular. And then they did it to me, and he's like, wait, aren't you regular? And I go, yeah. He goes, then why did you do that? Like, I don't know. It's just a thing. I go, I'm right-handed and left-footed. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Exactly. I think I would be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see having my dominant foot forward on a snowboard. I can't see me on a snowboard, but
Well, I don't like typically the foot that you kick with is going to be up front.
interesting.
No, generally the foot that the foot that you kick. No, the foot that you kick with is going to be behind because that's your.
Dominant foot.
So I'm reverse. So I kick with my left, but my left foot's also forward. So it should be that I kick with my right and I balance on my left, and my left foot should be the one that goes forward and not the other way around.
Well, okay. I can see your legs. The rest of the people who are live can't see your legs going left and right and right. And
Well,
left.
yeah, but I was describing it.
Sure. It's yeah.
When
The leg movement was more for me to put it together in my head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I understand that.
I'm backwards of what I should be.
Fair enough.
But I also, like, when I started riding switch, I was like, oh, that's fine.
See, and the funny part is, on a skateboard, I ride with my right foot back and I kick off with my left. But on the snowboard, I ride with my right foot forward. But when I'm like moving around with one foot off, my left foot forward, and I'm kicking with my right.
Okay.
It's a little weird. It's all kind of all over the place.
Well, but you also haven't really gotten to master your toe edge yet.
No, I haven't mastered a lot of things.
Yeah.
I basically just wing it and see what happens.
So on a snowboard, really what it comes down to, like the foot that becomes your dominant foot is the foot that you're most comfortable getting on your toe edge with.
Yeah.
Because anyone can go heel edge with either foot forward pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's like sitting down.
Is that falling leaf?
Yeah, most falling leaf, like when you see most people doing the falling leaf, it's heel edge.
Yeah. Okay.
Heel, toe, heel.
Anyway.
Toe.
If you want to go through a proper lesson, I can do that now.
I know, right? You actually know the operation of orders now.
Yeah, we can go over to Boulder and, when it opens. Actually, we just take you over to
Maggie
Cow Lodge.
or Cal Lodge, yeah.
You can do it. It's Maggie's isn't like you can get down that one steep section that most people are afraid of, and you get off the chair. So we can go up to the top of Maggie's and do it.
Yeah, I just go. I know if I wreck, it stinks, but I mean,
Well, we just go to Patsy's. I can run you through the lesson on Patsy's, then you can take it up to Maggie's. And in fact, I'll really just have you do toe edge garlands all the way down. And at the bottom, you probably have it figured out.
What do they mention anything in your training? Do they mention anything about you teaching your friends on off days?
No,
No.
not really.
as long as he's not teaching on his off days and collecting money, he should be fine.
Yeah, I think as long as it's not a commercial transaction, they don't really care.
Gotcha. So it was encouraging to see the snow today. I have to admit.
Oh, it felt good.
Yeah. And what's really interesting, it was about 3 feet of heavy snow.
Up top?
No, I was at my place.
You got 3 feet at your place?
No, inches.
You
Did
said
I
3
say
inches.
Did
Yeah.
I say
Yeah.
feet?
I'm like, where did they
Yeah.
get feet? Yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, we're going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
That
why I
question
asked.
you asked earlier? Yes.
That's why I asked up top.
No. What is that? My faux pas. My bad.
I'm like, feet? What?
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I mean, we definitely got 3 inches, but it was definitely
Down here.
It was down here. It was definitely weighted. I mean, you knew it was wet and heavy.
Well, it's going to be wet all year.
Yeah.
it's
Every
good.
El Nino year is wet.
Right.
It was like at my house, it was nothing but rain, and then I looked at the mountain and I couldn't see the mountain. And I'm like, ooh, they're gonna get good snow.
So, Sierra Cement. So we're definitely going to be experiencing Sierra Cement this year.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's a thing.
What is Sierra Cement?
Just wet snow.
For those people that don't know.
Heavy, wet, sticky snow.
Yep. Heavy, wet, sticky snow.
Stuff you can get stuck in. Leg goes into a bad spot. All of a sudden, surgeries are required.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, surgery is required.
That's true. This thing finally cracked on me.
Did it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's that fine and rare.
Oh, is it the Find Rare?
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's cracked in a way. It cracked off the burn, so it's still like gonna smoke just fine.
See, I got lucky. I didn't get any cracks through mine. Thank you.
So, is there any word in your training about the current situation on the mountain?
In what respect?
Like California Trail, Lower California Trail getting snow and it being an access.
Well, I think Lower California Trail's open.
Okay, it is.
I think you can go up the gondola and ski down to where the terrain that's open, that's also lift serve. Like you can go up the gondola, hike off to the right, drop in, get down to Cal side, do your thing, and then you have to go down Gun Barrel and get on a shuttle back.
Gun barrel chair.
Ah, Casey chimed in. Ew, snow.
So yeah, I mean,
Hey.
you're saying gun barrel chair
Yeah.
because there's definitely no way you can ski down at this point.
Oh yeah. No, down the chair.
So it was encouraging to see, but when I went out to clear the car off, it definitely became it was definitely terrible. It was like, shades of last year.
Your back went,
Snuggling
I
and
remember this.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's only shades.
I
Last year was good snow.
I was stepping on stuff that, oh my gosh, this is going to be tough to shovel out.
I mean, last year's was tough, but it was good
No,
snow.
no, it wasn't tough. It was light.
Oh, well, yeah, for you guys. For me, no.
Well, because you were down in the
Yeah,
rain.
it
the
wasn't
rain.
light at all.
Yeah, it wasn't light. Oh, what do you mean?
The snow down there, it wasn't light compared to up here.
Oh, it was really? It was wet and heavy.
Yeah, because it's still warmer down there. So
Sure.
It melted a little bit more.
Right.
So it was wet, heavy snow still.
And it never turned to ice.
Once or twice.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm not looking forward to is when it turns to chunky ice. Because you're standing on it, you're walking around, and you're packing it down.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I was not encouraged after I got out to the vehicle to think about shoveling. Nightmares.
That's where all your workout comes in, though.
That's
Shoveling
true.
snow
That's true.
and skiing.
Yep.
You're
Sure.
going to get out quite
I'm
a
going
bit
to
this
get
year?
out. I'm really, really working at getting out on the mountain this year more often than I did last year for sure.
Well, what, you only went like once or twice last year?
So I went once in November before Thanksgiving, and then I went once in the first week of December, like right now, in December, and then lost all interest.
Yeah, I helped beat you last year, which
Yeah,
I
you-
never thought would happen.
So I don't want to repeat that again, and so as a result, it means I got to get out there.
I mean, we could always call and harass you. Hey, Will, we're on the mountain.
Please do, actually, please do,
I s-
because I'll chase. If you guys are up on the mountain, you go, okay, well, we're up in the mountain. Come get us, and you guys just go and snowboard your ways that you're gonna go, and I'll chase you. I go, what chair are you at? And then I head for that chair.
Well, I'll still be learning. So Boulder, Maggie's, eventually I hope to get on a blue.
You will.
I know I will. Just a couple days, right?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go up.
I got to bring up that board still to get waxed. I meant to throw it in my car and drop it off because I came up early, but
You guys want to go out next Tuesday?
I don't think my board will be ready by then.
Oh,
It could be if I drop it off early, but I'd have to come up during my work days.
I
oh,
mean, I can try and get it from you and bring it up.
Fair.
I was just gonna say.
Were you off tomorrow?
No, I work 13 to 21, and then next couple days 16 to midnight. And a couple of 5 a.m.s. And then my next Tuesday, Wednesday, probably not actually, now that I think about it, I have ART training from 8 in the morning until 1600.
Well, nonetheless,
Oh wow.
bring it up on one of the days
Yeah.
that you work late and drop it off, and I'll grab it for you when it's done.
I will try to make sure.
Where are you gonna take it? Shoreline?
The same place he usually does.
Yeah, Shoreline.
Shoreline.
That's where I go.
Is that the one next to the bar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's the one I passed by. Over
Yeah.
Where the bike shop used to be.
Well, it still is in the summer.
Well, in the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just take it there.
Yeah.
And then just let them know that someone else is going to be picking it up.
Just leave the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do that.
And then I'll go grab it for you when it's done.
So, do you think they opened Lower California in a test out way of whether they should add the J chair or not?
No.
No.
No. They're not even thinking about that.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Dude, they don't need to invest in that mountain. It makes too much money.
Yeah, but it would. I mean, it would expand getting beginners up and getting them where they need to be in order to learn efficiently. And
The way they teach lessons, it really wouldn't.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at that point, you're talking about like level 5 and level 6 lessons.
Which are intermediate lessons.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it would grow that. It would grow that experience for the student.
I mean, I think it would help them out immensely just generally, but I don't think they're going to do it.
Well, you have to monetize it. In other words, you got to it's got to make sense in being able to bump the bottom line up, so it compensates for itself.
Well, it won't make any sense for them. This is the problem because that mountain makes so much money already. The only time it makes sense for them is if Heavenly starts losing enough brand value that people start going to other mountains.
I don't think
That's
gonna
already
happen.
happening.
I mean, not in a way that they're seeing financially.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because of such an impact that the weekend Valley people, the people from Sacramento, Stockton, the Bay Area, they're still coming up in droves, and they're going right past Sierra. A lot of them are going right past Sierra.
Think about how busy Colorado is. And they've got, 20, 25 mountains
Oh,
accessible from Denver.
Oh,
right.
So, but Denver's 2 million people?
I don't know.
I mean, best guess. I'd have to look it up.
I'd say best guess, yeah.
Think about the number of people Kirkwood, North Star, Sugar Bowl, Squaw, and Heavenly serve.
I was wondering if you were going to say squaw.
Palisades, whatever. But think about the sheer volume of people that those 6 mountains serve.
Right.
You're talking about 12 million people.
Did they change their name, Squaw?
Yeah, it's Palisades.
Oh. But everybody that knows it from back in the day still calls it Squaw.
Dude, it's tough. I've been calling it Squaw since I was 10 years old.
Same here. Oh,
Yeah, there's no change in that.
yeah. I mean, that's since my teens.
Yeah.
Or earlier.
Like, it's just what it is in my head.
And my teens were in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I've been saying it forever.
And it has nothing to do with how I feel about it.
Right.
It's just what it is. Like, in my head, it just comes out as that. It's not like I'm trying to make a political point. I don't care what they call it. But I've been calling it Squaw Valley for 34 years.
Or more. For me, yeah.
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 For you, it's almost like 40, 50 years.
I've
you've
been
calling it
corrected.
that?
I've been corrected on the chair a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's interesting because when I was at Cal Lodge earlier, a couple of weeks ago, we was talking with some guy. He wanted to get his pass, and the pass office wasn't open yet. But I said it's down there, and somehow Squaw came up. I said Squaw Valley, and he goes, "Thank you so much," and I'm like stunned. I go, "What?" He goes, "Yes," and he goes, the indigenous people didn't even want the name changed. They had no dog in that fight to begin with. And it's like, really? And he goes, "Yeah, I'm Indian." He goes, I'm a Native American." I go, "Oh."
Yeah, most of the fight that's going on isn't theirs. They could care less. To them, it's one of those things like it's been that way forever. Why change it now? It tells people that, hey, this is the valley that the Squaw tribe came from.
It's not
Yeah.
the Squaw tribe.
Well, what is it?
Washoe.
Washoe?
Yeah.
Why is it Squaw then?
Oh
It's
my
just
gosh.
what they called it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The current metro area population of Denver in 2023 is 2,931,000.
So almost.
So I was
3
like
million.
400,000 off.
Yeah.
But think about the difference between that and the number of mountains they serve versus we have substantially less mountains
Yes.
and 5 times the population that has immediate access to this area.
So
Heavenly makes boatloads of money.
yeah, but I can't say, would you say it makes more money than Breckenridge or
I was
Vail
told it was a top 3 earner in their corporation.
Wow.
And
That's wow.
They have quite a bit of properties under their umbrella, right?
42
yeah.
now.
With that new one.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
42. That they actually own, and they're associated with another like 18.
Yeah. That they run.
Even if it's say it's top 5, but why are you investing? If mostly what you're serving is beginning and intermediate skiers, they're not complaining. They don't know the difference. They're still coming, and you're still making that amount of money. What do they care?
I guess not. I mean, I understand the thinking.
Like, you want
what
to
you're
invest
saying.
in the mountains whose brand value is directly related to what they earn, right? So, Breckenridge, Vale, Beaver Creek have to add chairs and open new terrain because otherwise they're going to lose out to A Basin and
Copper.
Keys, like whatever the other mountains are up there. Like, you're going to lose traffic because there's so many more mountains and so much fewer people, so many fewer people.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem.
But you get a lot of people from international locations coming to Denver before they come to Tahoe.
Well, yeah.
And what's really sad about that is that Tahoe is such a treasure that it's just mountains, Rockies. It's like Rockies, and Tahoe is just so. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but to me it's like I would rather go to a place like Tahoe rather than going to places in Colorado. Now, I've been here very long. I've been here a lot of years, so I have a desire to go to Vail, to go to Breckenridge, to go to Keystone, to go to Whistler. I have that's expanding my ski experience. And I don't know what the point.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, I don't either. Anyway, moving right along.
I just it's a perfectly acceptable. We're going to go there most of the time from the Bay Area, and we're going to take our one trip to Park City or our one trip to Whistler, or, our one of 2 trips to Whistler and Vail. And the other 10 weekends that we go, it's going to be in Tahoe. The problem is it makes, there's so many people. And on top of that, we have probably more hotel rooms by a substantial margin and places to stay through Airbnb than anywhere in Colorado or Park City or Whistler.
Not Whistler. There's such a huge residential community around.
Dude, you can put 1 million people in this basin.
But you could put.
You about to tell me you can put 1 million people in Whistler? I mean,
Yes, I'm about to tell you that, even if I'm wrong.
And you know it.
And well, I mean,
Well, you
So
got to think most of them are going to be residents.
Yeah.
They're residential. They're not going to do the mom and pop Airbnb.
no. So
there.
Whistler doesn't have, like you said, a population to pull from,
yeah.
and neither does Denver. You're absolutely correct in that. In the market share of availability to the people in the Bay Area and other parts of California, because there aren't really there's residential areas and community at Whistler, but it's nothing compared to what we have here in Tahoe and the accessibility of it. Now, granted, that's a huge mountain and it's a great mountain to go and experience. And don't forget to go to the Waffle Hut.
You and the Waffle Hut,
I
man.
love the Waffle Hut.
Every time you say that, I can't help but think Waffle House. What's wrong with the Waffle House?
Nothing.
Wrong with the Waffle
Nothing.
House. Just saying, let's celebrate somewhere nice.
Yes. Anyway, so, I mean, I get the point that you're saying. I don't even know what word. I
There's
wanna
just
put
a
in
lot of mechanisms here that make it really easy for ski resorts to make money.
there.
Is what I'm getting
And-
at.
Yeah, and the other part is why incur the capital expense of putting another chair in.
Yeah.
I mean, now they replaced the fixed grip, not boulder,
North Pole.
North Pole chair.
Yeah, but
And
that's
that made sense. I mean,
yeah. Once a chair falls off,
you
it
got-
makes sense to replace the chair.
Yes, it does. I forgot the chair fell off. But yes, absolutely. Especially since you're self-insured.
It's like a Ron White joke. It fell off. It fell the fuck off. Yeah. And people saw it. It didn't happen like in the trees where no one was paying attention. It happened right next to one of the most traversed crossovers on that mountain.
True.
Like people watched it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it. And the good news is there's nobody in it.
Well, because it was on the way down.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the down chairs that fell.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
But
I
ever
thought it
since then,
was-
I look at those chairs that are wired in like that, the same style chairs that are still on that mountain. I'm like, shit.
Galaxy.
Do I go on it? Do I not?
Boulder.
Mott.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how many people don't understand that that's a double diamond, double black diamond chair access.
Casey making Maverick quotes.
Oh.
What about the wheel? You don't remember that, do you?
I don't remember that. No.
And when he's with his dad, but no one knows it's his dad yet, and they're in the horse-drawn carriage or whatever,
And it breaks.
stagecoach. No. Like the driver dies, so it's out of control, and the dad, who's written just like Maverick, is lazy and doesn't want to do anything unless he absolutely has to, is like, this wheel's about to come off. If we don't fix that, we're all dead. And Maverick goes out and secures the horses and falls under the carriage and gets up and he's like, "What about the wheel?" And his dad, whatever his character's name was, makes a comment and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got a good look at it," because he was underneath it, like getting dragged. Yeah.
So was that Mel Gibson and actual James Garner with Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
There were
that's-
some big names in that movie.
Yes, there were.
That's actually a really good movie. Has nothing to do with poker, but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poker is a side note.
Yeah.
For sure. Kevin, you said earlier that you wanted to discuss porn.
I did not say I wanted to talk about porn. Where are you coming from? I would never want to talk about porn. But I would like to talk about my kids and what they've been looking up.
Which is porn.
Which is porn.
Essentially, again, the last time one got in trouble, it was because they looked up Pornhub, couldn't get to it. This time, the oldest decided to hop on the youngest laptop for school and search up sexy women, big tits, sexy women, nude women. And then at some point, toys for women.
Oh, wow.
And they took screenshots of them. And they also looked up streppers, which they don't know how to spell strippers. So,
Streppers?
but if you look up streppers, it's more male.
Oh, how funny.
Are you sure that wasn't on purpose?
It could have been. I don't know.
Oh.
It could have been. I don't know. I'm not going to judge at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I was more judging on the fact that they decided to do it on a school laptop
Yeah.
where their principal, and now apparently I'm well acquainted with him enough to have his personal cell phone, calls me on a Saturday and tells me
What's been
on.
going on?
Yeah, Mr. Jenkins, last night somebody looked up on your son's laptop this. I'm like, oh yeah, what time? He's like, this time. I'm like, all right, I'll take care of it. He's like, oh, I'll talk to him when he gets to school. I'm like, don't worry about it. I got this. And then I proceed to question them, and they both lied. The oldest was lying the most, but I know the youngest was looking at it too. But it happened, and my youngest was out in the living room, which I have a camera in there so I can see what's going on and check on the dogs. And at that time, the oldest wasn't there, so I called him out on it. And he's like, it wasn't me. And I have proof. I'm showing him. I'm like, look, your brother's there. This is the time that it shows on your history of the laptop, because I pulled that up as well. I'm like,
But of course.
you're not going to lie to me. He's like, well, it wasn't me. I'm like, fine, let me pull up the webcam and I will show you around that time. Mind you, I can't do that because the webcam's not recording to the system. But he doesn't know that.
Yes, he doesn't.
So he did not call my bluff. He's like, fine, it was me. You'll see it. I'm like, oh, yeah? Why couldn't you fess up when I had all this other proof? Why did you wait? He's like, I'm like, what were you looking up? Tell me. He's like, I don't want to say it. I'm like, come on, tell me. I don't want to say it. Why? Are you embarrassed because your mom's there? Or are you embarrassed because you got caught? He's like, I just don't want to say it. You sure? I'm like, because what it says is you looked up this. He's like, no, I looked that up, but I'm not going to say it. I'm like, why not? You looked it up. Why can't you say it? You embarrassed to say it in front of your mom? I'm like, what about this toys one? I'm like, what were you doing? He's like, I don't know. I was just looking it up. I'm like, were you looking for a gift for your mom? I mean, a little weird, but.
Jeez.
Oh, you would.
Kevin.
You would.
Well, that's the thing. It says toys for women. So I'm like, maybe he was thinking like something that women would like as
Oh,
a
you
toy.
gave him the out.
I did.
Why would you do that?
He didn't even take it.
He didn't
He
even
didn't
take
take
it.
He wasn't smart enough to take it. Listen, I caught him. The next step after that, embarrass him so he doesn't do it again. It
Oh
might have
my
worked.
God.
It might not have. But he believes that I can look up the webcam now, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Well, he'd just figure out where to go to not.
No, he's this guy's kid. At some point, he's just gonna be more brazen about it. What were you doing? Research.
That's what I would have said. My mom caught me. Old school computers before Pornhub was around. I was looking up that sort of stuff, and she caught me. She's like, "What are you doing? Looking up women." What else can I say at that point? She caught me. She walked in. I'm like, "What's it look like?"
Yeah.
Interested in women. Want to see them.
Yeah, I have questions.
At that point, you just go with it, and then you're like, "Can you explain it to me?" And then she freezes and walks out the door. Perfect way to get out of it.
Yeah.
He did not have the same idea.
Well, apparently you haven't been doing your job properly.
Apparently, I have. If I can embarrass him. But it's funny. It's so funny.
Oh, no doubt.
So, on that note, when were you guys caught for the first time?
Oh,
I was never caught.
No, not even with drugs.
No, dude. My dad's first rule: don't get caught.
Of course. It's my
Like,
rule.
yeah,
It's a good rule to
yeah.
live
Except
by.
he actually imparted the knowledge on us on how not to get caught.
I did not. I want to see if they could figure it out. Listen, I had to figure it out on my own.
We had tools.
Exactly.
I mean, the group of us, the three of us, pretty conniving just generally.
Fair. I
Like,
know
if
you.
we needed to create a plan was created. Yeah.
Well, I mean, back in the old days before the computer, it was a stash in the wooded area over by your house, or a stash that was hidden behind a couple of things that somehow got bigger.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there was all sorts of places.
you know, it's funny is I was never caught. Of course, I never took anything home. It was always somewhere else, always out, and it wasn't necessarily in the woods. It was like somebody's house. You know, oh, let's go over there. They have magazines. You know, we can thumb through the magazines and have no kind of threat.
We also all had much less scrupulous friends.
I mean, you should read what Casey said. He said, nothing wrong with boobies, lol.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
That's a Casey line for sure. But we also had, like, we grew up here
Yeah.
with a bunch of people's parents who worked swing shift and graveyard, and everyone knew whose parents those were.
Right.
So, like if we were drinking, if we were doing whatever, it was always at someone's house whose parents weren't there. And there's enough houses in Tahoe, even still, but definitely then, that were out away from, like, houses basically without neighbors, right? So you drive out like 10 cars, no one's the wiser.
That's funny.
That's the easiest thing to do when you have friends and a ton of different things going on.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in high school, I had friends, but I mean, most of the stuff we did was in the middle of the desert.
You know what's really interesting is we were talking earlier, and Lane was describing what movie was it that you saw at the drive-in?
Empire Strikes Back.
So
Second one.
recently, I saw comparison photos of when the drive-in was still the drive-in, but it had been closed, and so you could see the rows where the cars would go. you wouldn't see any of the microphones or anything of that nature.
Yeah,
But
they
it
took
was
those out.
interesting to see where it was. I mean, it was just on the other side of Bijou from Ski Run.
Yeah.
And it's like, but where was that? What's gone in place? What's in the place of what did they build there?
Nothing.
It's still open
No, it's completely grown over.
by the meadow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it used
So
to
it
be
became a
the-
meadow or part of the meadow.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, because I used to go to drive-in movie theaters all the time. There's one in Vegas that was out behind Stations Casino because there's like 4 or 5 station casinos out there.
Yeah,
But there was one there, and we watched a scary movie when there was thunder and lightning out, which is always great to watch because it makes it more, gives it more ambiance. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. I always liked that scene in Twister
Oh yeah,
where the tornado comes through the drive-in screen.
just tears it apart as they're watching a movie.
No, there's still a drive-in in Sacramento. I think there's still one in Sparks.
There is one in Sparks. I go to that one every once in a while.
I think the one in San Luis Obispo is still open.
I don't know about that one. I know the one in Barstow is still open because I went to that one while I was in the Army. And I love going there. They had a swap meet. Then later in the day, you go back, watch a movie. They had that whole setup. Or you can bring your grill and a cooler, cook your own stuff. It was great.
Oh my God.
drive-ins.
So we got
What a
snow
novel
and
idea.
porn. We've talked about snow and porn
And drive-ins.
and drive-ins, just barely.
I mean, if they shot porn at drive-ins, how many people do you think go? Pee Wee Herman would have been safe.
Oh boy, so you guys made me think about the drive-ins that are in San Jose, and the reason why I asked is what did they build on it, is because the one in San Jose called the El Rancho Drive-In, they ended up building condos on the property. So it's like the drive-in's no longer there, but it's still called El Rancho Condos or something to that nature. And there's another one in off of Capitol, but I don't even know if that one's still open or not. I don't know if San Jose has any drive-ins anymore.
The drive-in's gone away for the most part.
Absolutely.
I thought they'd come back hard when COVID happened because
Oh.
that's when I started going to the one in Sparks because
Sure.
couldn't go to the theater, but you can go to a drive-in because you're closed in your own car.
Yeah,
Made it a lot easier.
no doubt.
Then I thought they'd come back big, but I haven't heard anything on it. I actually wanted to open one out over there by the fairgrounds down in Gardnerville. I'm like, that'd be kind of cool to have one out there.
Yeah, they're not amazingly profitable.
No, they're not.
Yeah, and also the property is expensive. Dirt
Yeah.
is not cheap up here
Depending
Well,
on where you're
or
at.
anywhere.
The only way to run them, I think, at this point is in second runs for
Oh.
movies.
Yeah.
You can't afford first runs and run a drive-in.
Probably not. Yeah, you can't view it enough.
Yeah.
You can't show it as often as you would do inside a theater for sure.
I think I
Yeah.
need to frame Will lower next time.
Maybe a little bit.
He looks like he's falling out of the frame.
Which way?
There's too much. You got too much headspace.
Oh, head space. I've
Yeah.
got a lot of head
I
space.
mean, last time we zoomed it in a bit.
Yeah, I just need to drop it some.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What else you guys want to talk about? I felt like I had a bunch of stuff to talk about. Now I was so gassed this week.
We covered all the major things.
No, I had a bunch of stuff, but I don't.
You can't think of them right
No,
now.
my head's just fucking scrambled, man. Dude, so I got Monday and Tuesday off in here, thankfully, because of this guy. Which was by the end of the run in that training section. So snowboarding and skiing, when you're good at it, is really easy. It's not tiring.
right, but when you got to teach it, it's a different animal.
When you're forcing yourself to go slow, when you've got the brakes on the whole time, controlling speed, holding a stop on a slope for a lecture for 15 or 20 minutes, your legs just get gassed.
Absolutely.
I was doing my best not to fall asleep in here a couple of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I was just smoked.
On the 2 days that I helped out.
Yeah. And then Sunday was just brutally boring. The game was good. Actually, had a decent crowd in here Sunday. They just didn't buy much.
Oh no,
Yeah, but the game was good. I mean,
Sunday night game. was
anytime the Packers beat the Chiefs in today's world,
good. It's a good day.
it's a good day.
Yeah. Although Monday night's game was really good. Bengals and
Yeah, it was surprising. I expected that not to be a game at all without Burrow.
was that Panthers?
No, that was the Jaguars.
Jags.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a cat.
Yeah, close enough. They're only a few hundred miles apart.
Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the game should be getting better. They should start flexing in the better games on Sunday nights because there's going to be a bunch of teams that are not in contention anymore that are scheduled, and they're just going to flex them out.
Aren't they already set? Isn't that schedule already set?
They can flex Sundays,
Oh.
so they can take a day game and move it to the night game. It's part of the contract.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get that.
It'd be cool if they could also do that with Mondays, but they can't.
Yeah. Mondays are fixed.
Yeah, for competitive reasons. So you have to give every team
An opportunity.
a short week.
Oh.
No, because like if you play a Monday game, there's a bunch of statistics out there that show that you're going to play like trash the next week
Right. And
because you have a short week.
Because it's a short week, even though it's only one day.
Same thing happens when you go from like Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah.
The Thursday games, they're notoriously bad.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I like Thursday nights, to watch. And for me, I mean, obviously I'm not out there on the football field banging away, but yeah, I mean, Thursday nights are great. And then when it's short, I mean, it's kind of more entertaining because one or two of the teams are gassed.
Yeah.
It's a toss up.
But we're almost to the playoffs.
Right. We're 12 games in.
Oh yeah.
Week 13 is next.
February's playoff is the actual game, right? Super Bowl.
Yeah, first week in February. First Sunday.
I was looking at the schedule for the 49ers, and it said that the game that's on the 28th or something like that in December or the first week of January is still yet to be determined who's playing that game.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know how.
I don't either.
Is that a playoff game already?
I don't think so.
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's week 18. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, it was confusing, the fact that
We
was
had some
being
people
said.
in here, but they ran away.
What do you mean?
We got up to 6 people at one point.
Oh,
That's not bad.
they weren't interested in what we were talking
Well,
about?
there's probably 3 people plus
They were-
me, you, and him.
They're probably, it's the middle of night, fucking New York or something, and we're talking about skiing. They're like, who cares?
Right.
Our snow's terrible.
Yeah. Well, they got a lot. There's a lot of snow out there right now.
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Does it?
Do they really
I
have
mean,
mountains?
What's the turnaround time for it to become sheets of ice?
Oh, that I don't know. But they were getting powder on top of that stuff.
It doesn't last. And their mountains are short.
Yes. Well, I mean, in comparison, yes.
So they're
I
all
mean,
Maggie runs, is what you're saying? Green runs.
No, they've got some steeps. And there used to be a guy who worked at Heavenly that was a big Killington.
Well, Killington's
Fan.
different. We were talking about Vermont, that they have real mountains. Still ice, but real mountains. But like New York, you're talking about like Hunter.
I'm not familiar.
It's small. When Adam went with his buddies and they pulled up, he looked at it and he went, "Where's the rest of it?"
Right. Oh, really?
And it's also like he said riding blacks was like riding blues.
Okay. I mean, that's not
So if you're coming
that's
from
not
a mountain,
shocking.
so if you're coming from a mountain like this, they're all basically blues.
Yeah, or anywhere in the Rockies, you're like, "What are we doing?"
Message from Casey.
Yeah, what's he say?
Hockey names for the local team.
Oh, I don't want to
Have we
talk
heard
about.
any
I
of
don't
them?
want to talk about
Oh,
it.
boy.
Yeah, the night monsters.
The night where
Tahoe might not night monsters.
Tahoe Night Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go with Tahoe Tessies at this point.
Apparently some jackass filed a copyright on it and he wouldn't release it.
For Tahoe Tessie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would have been any more a fan of that name, but the Night Monsters, Night spelled Knight.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to talk about that either. That's kind of
I don't want to talk about it.
a little asinine to me.
It's a little goofy.
Let's go with the Tahoe skiers. I don't know.
You know what? We're in week 14,
Yeah.
actually, and the 18th week. For some reason, it says Rams, 49ers, TBD with Levi's Stadium underneath the TBD. I'm wondering if they're
Oh, they might flex it. They're thinking they might flex it.
Is
Or
that-
it's the Sunday night game and they might flex it out.
because it's the Rams and
Yeah.
us. Okay.
Because you guys will have clinched and the Rams will be out of it.
Right. I mean, we're pretty much clean. Oh, no. We're 9 games. Well, let's see. We pretty much, it's week 14, so there's only,
3 games left. 4 games left.
4
Because
games.
they've had their bye.
Yes. So, Seahawks, KC,
Sea chickens, yes.
Sea Chickens. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming home. They're coming to us at Levi's Stadium. That will be another blowout.
What are some of the other games that weekend?
Don't know.
Oh.
Don't care.
Well, I could tell you if they're what they're talking about flexing in. If you did.
Still don't care.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
He's like, we're playing the Eagles, the NFC Championship game. Until that happens, I'm not paying attention.
Well, no, I'm going to watch the Niners for week 14, 15, 16, 17 for sure. I don't know what happens on the 18th, but you said absolutely correct. By then, we will have clinched.
Yeah, I don't know. What's your schedule leading up to that?
Well, Sea Hags this
Sea
weekend
Hags fucking will.
on December 10th. We got the Cardinals, the flailing Cardinals. The week after that, on the 17th, we've got Ravens. Well, that'll be a tough one. And then the Commanders after that, and then the Rams. So,
Yeah, you guys will have clinched.
yeah, we will have definitely clinched. Probably, 2 more games? That'll get us to 11 and 3. That should do it. I mean, 12 and 3 for sure. But interesting. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Who's going to take it this year? Is it going to be the 49ers, Will?
I
If
ho-
you're being honest with yourself.
I hope so. I think we're strong enough to do it for sure.
I mean, you're going to have to beat the Eagles.
And we're going to have to beat Kansas City.
You think they're going to be the AFC team?
They may not. The Lions are giving it a good go.
Yeah, but they're not AFC, are they? They're NFC. They're NFC.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they were.
You guys might play the Lions early on.
True. And, well, no. We'll play them before we play Philly. Philly? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, depending on how the brackets line up.
That's true.
They could beat Philly, though.
Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could beat Philly.
I mean, we beat them, so I mean, they're not impervious to being beaten. I mean,
Yeah, but who
granted
are the
their
3
schedule,
teams you lost to, though?
I got to hang my head low.
I mean, you lost to some of the dregs.
Yes, but that's because we weren't fully staffed.
What you're saying is you were giving your players a break. Is that the excuse?
No, they were injured.
They were injured.
Okay.
I'll give them that. They were injured.
There were yeah. I mean, we lost to the Buccaneers. No, we didn't. Who did we lose to?
All the other DJs.
We lost to the Bengals. We lost to the Vikings. And we lost to Cleveland, which was kind of surprising. But that's where everybody got hurt. Not everybody, but that's where the key players got hurt. Yeah, I'm definitely in the mix. San Francisco's definitely in the mix for conference playoffs.
Did you see the numbers came out for Disney?
What?
They lost somewhere between.
How did we go from football to Disney?
It's just a
Yeah,
flash. So in November,
yeah.
they lost with their box office movies somewhere between $1 and $1.3 billion
No way.
to what the movies cost to make.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt.
Who else is taking? Starbucks stock is dropping into the fucking basement.
You know, I have not followed the stock market in quite a long time.
Brown Foreman. So whiskey's starting to slow down finally. Brown Foreman's stock dropped, I want to say 10% today after their year. They were down to last year and then they cut their forecast for next year.
Who's this?
Brown Foreman. They make Jack Daniels.
Oh,
And
okay.
Old Forester and Woodford Reserve and a bunch of other crap.
They make whiskey. Of course.
They make whiskey.
Of course you're going to know about that.
I think that whiskey sales are finally starting to fall back to earth a little bit.
Yeah? To make sense?
You're starting to see more stuff around. People are starting to buy less. I think the collecting phase is kind of over, except for the really good stuff.
So do you think the lack of funds from COVID, now that it's no longer producing income for people or supplementing income for people, and inflation are affecting that?
Yeah, probably some. I think it's also people having to go back to work in the office. You know, day drinking can't be a thing anymore. You can't sit on a Zoom call
come
with your
on.
boss drinking whiskey out of a coffee mug.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it depends on where you're working.
Yeah, you can. I would have made that happen.
I listened to an oral argument today in the Supreme Court about taxation. That was fun.
I'll bet boring as all get out.
No, because the Supreme Court was particularly ornery. And
Imagine
they were smoking the lawyers a little bit, which is not in like a embarrassing way.
Like that one lawyer.
Like that one.
Yeah,
That
they weren't incompetent. They were just making bad. So you just want us to throw out 100 years of precedent? So what you're saying is we don't have the power to tax in this situation or this situation or this situation or any situation ancillary to these situations. Well, I don't know that that's what I'm saying, but
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So I saw an article, I think it came from the Armed Scholar, regarding the Illinois ban.
Yeah, the PIC Act.
The PIC Act, yeah. PICA? PICA? Is
Yeah, I
it
don't know.
Just PIC. Anyway, what was interesting to me is that there were 2 judges that were singled out on that.
Yeah, they took a lot of money
Yeah,
from gun safety,
gun interest or
Yeah.
gun control.
anti-gun
interest.
gun control interests.
Yeah.
They didn't recuse themselves. They knew about $2.6 million in contributions. Someone stumbled on another $7.6 million in contributions. One of the organizations that was giving a bunch of money, the head of that organization was one of the attorneys arguing the gun control case in front of the Supreme Court, in front of the justices they gave money to.
So it was a state Supreme Court.
Yes.
Okay. So, Jesus. So that's got to get thrown out. I mean, theoretically, right? Or do they keep it?
Who knows?
Really?
When you're talking about Supreme Courts, they play by different rules.
So in other words, moral turpitude gets thrown out the window.
I mean, I don't know that that's where it kind of fits moral turpitude.
Okay. I'm just making up words.
Well, moral turpitude's a real thing in the law.
No, I get that.
It speaks to a certain kind of crime.
Oh,
It has to do with
So-
where does that fall in the law? I think it has to do with what crimes can be admitted, what previous crimes can be admitted in a trial against a defendant in a criminal case. Crimes of moral turpitude have a certain, so crimes of moral turpitude can always be admitted to show a tendency for dishonesty. So you can basically impeach someone, impeach their testimony through through reputation or previous acts because they were found guilty of crimes of moral turpitude. I think it's been a long time since I looked at evidentiary rules.
okay.
It's not something that comes up. It probably hasn't come up since law school, but I think that's where it comes from.
So,
Casey says only Lane gets to make up words.
Yeah.
well,
Oh my God!
I'm
My
not
dad
making-
asked me to point out he watched the Deleterious podcast, and he asked me to point out that all words are in fact made up.
Is that right?
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
All words are. It was.
You know the one that really, really torques me right now
What's that?
is physicality. That word is just so.
Well, it's sort of
not-
redundant, right? Because you could
it's
just say physical.
Yeah, or physicalness.
It's extra syllables where none are needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not. And they put it in the dictionary. I mean, I remember when the guy was being interviewed and he said that, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, but utilize is in the dictionary. You know what the definition for utilize is in the dictionary?
I have no idea.
It says see use.
But of course,
It's literally the same thing except 2 extra syllables.
yeah.
It's whenever I hear I've had to turn off podcasts because someone insists on using that word every time instead of the word use. And I just can't do it.
See, what
like,
you need
nope,
to do
I'm out.
is
Utilize?
utilize the dictionary
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Utilize is acceptable, and it's acceptable in one context, and it's the context in which Hemingway used it.
And how's that?
Utilizing. Will should know this.
Utilizing.
Yes.
We'll know.
It was Hemingway's euphemism for
Using.
no. It was specific.
Yeah.
To
If you were utilizing,
paraphernalia.
if Hemingway said you were utilizing,
You were fornicating.
no, you were drinking.
So
Oh, that's why I'm supposed to know it.
I mean, we all should know this at this point.
Well, no, but I mean, I just expected it to come up in your world.
It didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
So utilizing was Hemingway's euphemism for drinking.
Is it okay? That's funny. That's funnier. No, we didn't worry about words when we were drinking.
It's just such a classic reference.
No,
I mean,
it
it's
is.
it's Hemingway.
Exactly. And wasn't he in Italy when he wrote that?
I don't know where that came from. I don't know which book that came from.
Okay. I want to say, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I should say. Is I don't know. That's an acceptable answer, right?
Yeah.
It should be.
And I just realized that I'm flipping the cap on the lighter, and it's probably.
Oh yeah, we could hear it.
Yeah, you could hear it coming over the.
Yeah, I didn't even
Over
notice
the
it because
live
I do it
stream.
so often in my own. Like I fidget so often with my lighter.
I try to not have anything to fidget with, but the cameras now.
So anything of significance going to be decided here by the end of the year by the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
So there's a
everything
couple of
is
2A
significant.
cases. So there's Ramini, and there's the counterbalance to Ramini, which was a guy who was. So Ramini is going to be narrowly decided, I think, not on constitutional grounds. They're not gonna change the test. They're just gonna fit what he did. Prohibiting him from owning guns are just gonna fit into previous precedent under the same test, I think. There's a counterbalance to Ramini, which I don't think has been argued yet. The guy was a nonviolent felon. He basically lied about his income to get food stamps for his family so he could feed his kids, and now he's no longer allowed to own a weapon because in some state where he applied for a license, that crime was considered a felony. That one hasn't been argued yet. There's the fishing case dealing with federal powers. Like, it's basically going to be what can be delegated, and it's going to be it's Chevron. It's what agencies are allowed to do when the authorizing legislation is ambiguous in certain areas. That's going to be a big one.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, that one's going to be argued next terms, like next session, next term. Not next October. It's going to be argued in like February, and that'll
Okay.
be a decision that comes out probably in June.
So when did they break?
They're about to break, and then they'll come back in January.
Well, they got another week, 10 days,
I'd have to look at the calendar.
right?
And then they go until end of June, beginning of July, depending on,
The caseload.
yeah. And then they break until October.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they may break in June, or they'll break in July and go all the way to the end of October,
Yes.
or the 1st of October.
It's
Well, I guess the case
is
is
it the first? It's the first Monday after a Sunday in October, I believe.
Okay. So it could be.
It's tradition. So it's Red Mass on Sunday, which is attended by most of Washington at a particular Catholic church.
Huh.
And then that Monday is the first day of the new term or the new session of the Supreme Court.
Interesting. Huh. And this all should have been covered in the history class in high school?
No, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that from other things, but the first time I got that in curriculum was in law school.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I knew it from other things. It's been in some TV shows.
Oh, has it?
They covered it in The West Wing.
I was just going to say, was it the West Wing?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty famous thing.
Okay.
Red Mass is a pretty famous thing. Like it's
Go ahead.
it's a bipartisan collection of most of Washington.
Interesting. So when you said Red Mass,
Yeah.
there was a red wedding in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And that's what I thought of when you said Red Mass is the massacre. But no.
No, this is just a Catholic service.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, how does it, people have asked how it doesn't violate the separation of church and state, and people go, well, it just, whatever. Maybe it does, but we don't care
Right.
because it's inconsequential.
Yeah, it's not, there's nothing negative being or
Casey, I don't know if it's the same church. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's not he does that after the funeral, though, right? I don't think that's the same. I don't know if if they live in the same place in the series. They could.
So what else we got?
Not much.
Not much.
Just new classes for me to take next week.
What are you taking? Anything good?
That ART. It's anger replacement training, something like that. So it might even help me out. Who knows?
It might.
Highly angry person, so it should be nice if
Okay.
it helps.
Yeah.
Right on.
Where you can apply it to your own life.
Yeah. I mean, I know a few of them, but most of the time when I get angry, I don't know how to utilize any of it at that moment.
Utilize.
You dick.
You're welcome.
Utilize.
It's the only reason you did that was to piss me off.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I 100% forgot that was a thing that we went over until I said it.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Look at that attention span at its finest.
Right?
As a night. You know what? Where's your goat?
He keeps forgetting the goat.
Actually, he's in the back in my pocket. So yes, I forgot it in the back in my
The
pocket.
screaming goat. It's ridiculous. I don't know. You guys, I mean, we've been going for a while. You guys want to end it?
I'm good to end it. I think this is a good point. We're at what, like an hour and 10 minutes in?
Clean up? I mean, I've been in the shop a lot for the last
Nah, you don't say.
little while.
Little while?
I go for a break,
Hey,
sit and smoke my Partagas and clean up.
but Casey's been here so much more than any of us combined.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Combined.
It wasn't the first. It caught up to me a little bit when I was trying to do the Margaritaville thing.
Right.
Here and then
absolutely.
there every day.
Yeah. And then it
But
caught
I
it
was still coherent in here. It was wearing on me a little bit, but I was still.
coherent.
It didn't affect my performance in here.
Uh-huh.
The last 5 days up on the mountain
Yeah.
definitely affected my performance some. Like, it's so physical,
Sure.
And you're using all those muscles.
and
you
you're
don't
moving
usually
around. You're
work
moving
out.
around so much, and I hadn't been on the mountain a lot, so I'm not like you're still acclimating to being in the cold all the time.
Right.
So your body's a little cold all day. So you're burning calories just trying to stay warm when you're standing still. Plus you're moving a lot, doing a lot of exaggerated movements. So your legs are gassed. And I was just dog tired.
Yeah. Plus, you're also being taught something. You're needing to mentally absorb stuff.
So you're
Yeah,
burning
actually, that
calories
wasn't
there.
I didn't seem to have a problem mentally absorbing any of it.
Okay.
Like, I was able to walk through everything pretty quick.
Okay.
It was just physically exhausting.
Sure. Out in the cold,
Yeah, and then,
doing stuff.
me being a jackass deciding that I should still go to the gym.
Yep.
Yeah. What is it? I want to say, what is up with that? But
Did you
it's
focus
lame.
on-
I understand what is up with that.
God, it was just
Did you
stupid.
at least focus on upper body instead of lower?
I had to. I didn't have a choice. I still did
yeah.
cardio though, but it was easy cardio. Super like steady state cardio. This is what I tell everyone I preach it to, right? Is it like how do you know when you're in the proper zone, like in the pocket on steady state cardio for this purpose? You get bored before you get exhausted. Like you're 45 minutes in and you're like, God, I got another 15 minutes.
Yeah, and
Why?
you shouldn't get winded by talking, but it should be a little bit affected, right?
A little winded. So they say, like the guys that really know what they're talking about, and I'm not one of them, they talk about relative perceived exertion, RPE. And what they say is you should be able to have a conversation the whole time that you're doing it. But if you were on the phone, the person at the other end would know that you're working out.
Because you're slightly out of breath.
Yeah, like you get a sentence and a half out, you know, breathe a little bit of air, catch up a little bit, and then, you know, keep going.
Okay.
It's not like you can just, like I was on the treadmill next to a lady today, and she was having a straight out conversation. Like, if I closed my eyes, I wouldn't have known that she was working out. She was on, you know, on earbuds on the phone. Probably not working hard enough.
Too low.
Yeah, just a little bit low of where she needs to be,
Interesting.
Up the incline then?
or the speed.
Yeah.
So I need to double back. How is the coverage? How high did you get in your training on the mountain?
I never did any of the lunch laps because I was getting food because I knew to come in here, like right after.
Right.
But the guys on the lunch laps when they were out of uniform were going all the way up canyon,
Okay.
and apparently it's skinny, like they don't have full coverage.
Got it.
But where they do have coverage, it's not bad. They've blown enough snow.
Okay. But it's skinny.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's
that makes sense. I
There's
get
only
that.
one spot on Maggie's, like right before Hospital Corner,
Okay.
where like there's a boulder that you can sort of see. It's shading the snow. It's not popping through, but you can tell there's something underneath.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Got it.
But that's the only bad spot that I've noticed.
So you just got to skirt around that?
No, right now you can still go right over the top of it because it's not poking through.
Okay.
It doesn't affect. It's not going to grind your board or
You can
anything.
just see it.
You can just, the snow's a little dark there, and you're like, oh, there's something under there.
Is that before Steins or after Steins?
No, it's before. It's on Maggie's.
Yeah.
It's right before Hospital Corner, right before you take that 150-degree turn.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking because I was up there in the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's a lot of snow in there in order to make coverage. I mean, a ton in order to make coverage to be able to ski Maggie's. I mean, that thing is not easy when it comes to snowmaking.
No, there's a lot of debris.
Yeah,
These aren't grass-covered slopes. There's a lot of debris on our slopes in the summer.
right, right.
You realize that in the Nevada side, when you go up and you do like the Tahoe Rim Trail on the Nevada side,
Yeah,
you see the slopes, or when you go do whatever that bike trail is called, back down to the Bi-State Park.
yeah, I have no idea what that is.
But you're switchbacking up some of the runs to do it, and
Yeah.
there's like, you know, trees in the run
Oh, absolutely.
and boulders, and you're just like, oh, that's what's under here.
They don't clear any of that?
No.
No, they're not allowed to
Why?
because preservation of the runoff, natural runoff for the lake.
Okay.
Clarity, to keep the clarity. Which
And-
is interesting because you got a big meadow on the California side, but you don't have really anything of that nature of significance other than right there by Kale. Is that Kale Drive that goes down to the old? Is there anything else in between? There's a corner, isn't there, on the other side of Round Hill, just before you get to the famous Sam's place or something like that.
Yeah, there's a corner there.
Yeah, that corner. So that's a meadow-ish, but they're all small, is what I'm getting at. Where the meadows on the California side are huge. I've lost you guys, huh?
I don't know what we're talking about.
I'm talking
I'm
about
lost about the meadows.
What was the purpose of the discussion of the meadows?
so runoff from
Oh.
runoff and how I guess it's the TRPA, yeah, that manages basically the basin clarity, the basin runoff of of the snow melt for clarity in the lake.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, so that's what we launched into
All right.
from
From the debris on the.
I think we're done.
yeah,
I think
think
we're
so.
I think we're out.
yeah. I've definitely been out for a while.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you made it this far, give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on our next live video. You guys have a good one.